Welcome to week 23 of my Mallorca training vlog. So here I am at the start of the week and I find myself in yet another hotel room. This one is in the lovely historic town of Totnes in Devon, which is about a 4-hour drive from my home. So fortunately I'm only here for 2 nights, but like all of these work trips I literally don't have a free moment to be able to go out and ride a bike. So although I could have put the bike in the car and brought it with me, I wouldn't have had any time to go out and ride it. Oddly enough, the last time I was here was back at the start of my freelance career about 20 years ago, when I was in the town filming a piece about local life. The countryside around here is absolutely stunning, although there are some quite sharp, severe hills, and I think if I had my bike with me I might have struggled going up them. So I think I'll save it until I get home and hopefully I can get some road rides in towards the end of the week. So here I am back home again after my couple of days working away in Devon. So I've had time for a quick haircut, now it's time for a quick spin out on the bike. And today's ride I will do the Edney's Lane route, which is about a 4-5 kilometre climb at about 3-5%. And then it undulates a little bit up to a pub called the Bat and Ball, and then it's quite a long descent into the village of Hambledon and then back out to Denmead and home. Now the route is 25 kilometres long and hopefully, because I'm 3 kilos lighter, I should feel a little bit of a difference on the climb actually going up Edney's Lane. And added to that, I'm going to try and do the 25 kilometre route in under an hour. So let's see how I go. I managed the 25 kilometre route in 55 minutes and I did it fairly comfortably as well. Luckily the wind was in my favour. There was not a massive amount of wind, although when there was some wind it was a headwind on the faster sections. I had a bit of a tailwind going up the main climb, but all in all, I'm fairly pleased with that, and when the Strava jury gets in, I'll see if I've done any PRs. I think I might have PR'd going up Edney's Lane itself. Let's see. Well, I've had a chance to have a look at Strava, and as it happens, I didn't PR going up Edney's Lane. I was about 22 seconds off my best time there that I did back in August last year. However, I did get 4 PRs, but mainly they were on the downhill section going from the top of Hambledon down into a place called Denmead, and then through Denmead itself and then up into Waterlooville. Yeah, so I'm happy that I got the PRs at all, but a little disappointed that I didn't get the PR going up Edney's Lane. Over the last few weeks I've noticed that when I've done a longer ride, say over 50 kilometres, I've got progressively tired as the ride's gone on, and particularly sort of 50-60 kilometres I felt really bad towards the end. Now I've been speaking with a few people and the universal kind of conclusion is that I've not really been stocking up on my carbs on the ride. So today I'm going to try a little bit of an experiment. I'm going to go out and do a 60 kilometre ride. Now the weather is quite warm today, so obviously I will need to hydrate, so I'm using water and high 5 tabs, but instead of just going out with that, I'm also adding quite a little bit of honey to this mixture. Now the carb content of honey is quite high. It's basically gram for gram carbohydrate. So the magic number is 30 grams of carbohydrates per hour, and let's see how I go with this added carbohydrate honey mixture. Now that I'm home, showered and relaxed, I can reflect upon today's little experiment. So first of all, how did it taste? Well, I mixed the honey and the water with the tropical flavoured high five tabs, and it didn't taste too bad. Now, I might have imagined it, but it did have a kind of marzipan type flavour, which I don't mind, but obviously with that much honey in there, it was rather sweet. It was bordering on overly sweet, I would say, but then I could have just reduced the amount of honey and the amount of carbohydrates in the solution. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. But did it actually work? Well, over the last few rides that I've done, like I say, I've been sort of anything over about 50 kilometres, and I've started to get progressively tired. And today was pretty much the same story. So the section from 50 kilometres to 60 kilometres I found quite hard, although not quite as hard as I have done on previous longer rides. Now, there were a few mitigating factors today, and probably the most important one was the route that I chose. It was fairly hilly. Now, there were two pretty major climbs in there. The first one was to a place called Beacon Hill, which, as the name suggests, must be quite high up. And then the second one was up to Old Winchester Hill, which is about a 4 kilometre climb with sections at about 8%. And it climbs up to one of the highest points in Hampshire, so as you can imagine, that's pretty tough. Now, that climb came at around kilometre 35 of my ride, so I was well into it. I felt okay, but obviously the climb was rather steep, so I just kind of chugged my way up. The other mitigating factor today was the heat. So it was around 28 degrees Celsius, which obviously is quite warm. So I was sweating quite a lot, losing quite a few fluids and salts and electrolytes. So the drink was doing a very good job at replacing all of those. And finally, there was a massively strong headwind as well, particularly on the sort of first 15 kilometres and the last 15 kilometres. And towards the end, the headwind I felt was the thing that was making the ride the most difficult. From kilometre 50, it did feel really hard, and I had a smaller climb in there, and instead of attacking it as I had done on Beacon Hill and a little bit on Old Winchester Hill, I just kind of chugged my way up, because I knew at the top it was basically downhill all the way home. So the big question is, did the honey in my bidon actually help with my energy? The coin is kind of still in the air. Now, obviously, just after one test, it's not really going to be enough to make a definitive conclusion either way. But I did feel tired, but not quite as tired as I had done on previous longer rides. I could certainly feel it in my legs and just generally a lack of energy. Now, my cardiovascular system was fine. My breathing, my heart rate all felt good. It was literally just in my legs and just a general lack of energy. And moving on, I think the next logical step is to do some further experiments with honey in the bidon. And then if I don't find that that's helping me much, I think it would be to move on to something like a commercially available carbohydrate electrolyte drink. So are you training for a particular cycling event? If you are, please tell me all about it in the comments below. If you found this film useful, please like and share. And if you'd like to get the most out of your cycling, please consider subscribing for my regular weekly uploads. Thanks for watching.